tell you about my project. Now, what it ended up being was that I made some display boards for Habitat for Humanity to use to advertise their projects and get extra volunteers in the Pine Island community. I say ended up because I kind of ended up doing 4 Eagle projects. How it started out was in the spring of freshman year. I wanted to do something for the school, very simple, just they have a drainage pond. I wanted to make a garden down there, and it didn't really work out so well because I couldn't get any of the lines of communication to work, and I wasn't able to get much of the approval needed. So that one kind of died out, and I had to move on to the next one. And I got an idea from someone to do a project for Habitat for Humanity. So with the next one, I got in contact with Habitat for Humanity, asked them what they needed, and they told me they had 2 houses that they needed landscaped. They had been completed the previous year or something like that. The families had moved in. The basic landscaping was done, all the sod was in, and they wanted me to make some gardens. And it went pretty well. I got all the approval in, started on the project. Over the winter, I was working on getting a cost-sharing grant with the city of Rochester. Everything was going mostly smoothly. And then in the spring, I finally met with the homeowners, and Habitat told me that they wanted to have the homeowners pay for the gardens as a growing experience. And unfortunately, they weren't in exactly a financial position to do so at that time. So it's now on to the 3rd Eagle project. And at this point, I'm 17 years old, my birthday's coming up in September, and it's June. I've got to get a project done as quickly as possible, and I asked them if there's anything they need done that's easy, quick, and they told me that they have another house where the yard needs to have sod laid. This seems pretty easy, as long as you remember that it's weather dependent. With this, they take care of all the sod, all the fundraising is done. All you need to do is get the labor. Unfortunately, it's a pretty massive amount of labor. They wanted between 30 and 50 people to get this to work. So I was out at church making announcements. I made announcements at the scout meetings. I sent out Facebook blasts, pestered my friends to try and get them to come. And I got about 28, 30 people or so that said they would show up. And it was the week of June 15th and 17th, which, if anyone remembers, it rained every single day that week. And unfortunately, my summer was pretty packed, and the next week I was on vacation with my family. And Habitat was very anxious to get everything done, so they had SOS come in that week and sod the lawn without telling me. So now it's mid-July, and I have to have my Eagle project done from scratch by September 1st. So with this final thing I'm working on, I've figured out that you don't want anything weather dependent. So I finally decided to go with a build project, which ends up being these reusable display boards. They're plywood backed, framed in 2x2s, and everything goes pretty smoothly. The first day we end up having some severe thunderstorms, but thankfully we're working inside, so it doesn't matter too much. And finally, the second day we've got a nice turnout, 20 or so people. We're working in the backyard, it's sunny, the weather's finally behaving for me. And we get everything done, it all goes smoothly, and it's just a great relief to have it finally done. Except for the fact that I still need signatures. And if you remember, in Minnesota, we like to take vacations in the summer. So it's very difficult to hunt down everyone and get all the signatures we need. And everything finally works out in the end. I've got 2 days before my birthday when I finally turn it into the scout office. So everything works smoothly, even though it seemed like everything was stacking up against me. The Eagle project was just a really good way to learn how, even when you try your best, make your best plans, things can still go wrong. But if you keep trying and trying and trying, eventually by the 4th time, it should all work out pretty well.